So tonight we're going to set up Netlify CMS. So I've got my new website ready to go. All of my content I moved over from WordPress, so I've got it over in source and content. So all of my markdown is over in my Git repository, but I don't want to have to all the time go into Git and change it. Sometimes I just want to log into a website and change it. So there's this thing called Netlify CMS, which is basically for static generated websites like this that hold the content in Markdown inside of the Git repository. So what this is supposed to do is you can check it into your static site generator, and when you deploy your static website, if you go to the URL that it spits it out on, it can like hook up into the Git repository that you have all of your content in. So like all of my Markdown, and you edit it like you normally would with WordPress, but it sort of checks it in and checks it out of Git in the back end. So your Git repository that you normally have everything in sort of acts like the database that you would normally have. So I'm going to try to set up Netlify CMS tonight. We're gonna see if we can do that. So how's everybody doing? A few people in the chat. If you want to just hang out and just chill and lurk, that's totally cool too. We'll see if we can get this going. So I only heard about it, haven't looked at how fast you can set it up. So I'm assuming that I can set it up tonight. I'm not really sure, but if it's anything like the rest of what Netlify has, it's probably like super crazy quick. Probably. Hey, Flock Edger. Pretty good. That's good. Me too. Me too. All right. So open source content management for your Git workflow. All right. Start with the template. Gatsby starter site. I already have a site, so I need to hook it into my site that I already have. So if you're curious, I've got my website. It's up on ryanhayes.net. So if you go there, you can see it. This is a Gatsby site, so it's pretty quick, super fast. It's all Gatsby stuff. You can see kind of images sort of load as you scroll down. It's super cool, super fast. I really like it. All right, so I want to do add to my site. Add to your site. App file structure Can everybody see this okay? Is that too small? That might be better. There we go. That's probably easier for y'all to read. All right, app file structure, static. Admin folder contains all the Netlify CMS files stored at the root of your published site. Okay, so my Gatsby site, one thing that I did learn this week is that there's this folder in, so if you're familiar with Gatsby, there's source, which is where all of your basically your site that gets generated from. This is where all that lives. So here's all your templates and things that it uses to build your site. Content is your articles and your images that you use that you can reference in your Markdown files that's your content. But if you want to spit out something like robots.txt for search engines, or something else static that you don't really need generated, you just want, like, I just want this file to just end up on the web server when it deploys. You can throw that into static, and that'll just go, it'll just copy that folder straight to the root of your site. So that's pretty nice. I got the CMS part and Gridsome set up pretty quick. Ended up thinking myself into a hole though. Yeah, so yeah, Gatsby's been a little bit different for me too. I've used Jekyll before. I've tried to move away from WordPress like 5 times now, at least 5 times. So I've got about 10 years worth of content on my WordPress site, or had about 10 years. So I've moved to Ghost before. I've moved to Jekyll. I've moved to Joomla, unfortunately, one time, and then that was really quick back to it. But nothing's ever really stuck, and I think one of the reasons why I'm wanting to move to this is there a lot of the SEO stuff is now really focused on performance, and it's kind of hard to get WordPress to be performant unless you take all of the plugins out, so it's basically stock, and then do like a ton of caching, and then I found some hosting to do it really well. So WPEngine.com was really great for making it fast, but it's also pretty expensive. And with Gatsby or any other sort of like static site, it's not super expensive. And actually Netlify is free, so that's very cheap. And anytime I try to work on my WordPress site, it's kind of tough to get that running on your local machine, because you got to have like, you know, you have to have a web server for sure. You got to have MySQL, so you got to figure out how to set up a database, and you got to be able to do it. You got to do updates, of course, all the time. So it's just kind of a pain to develop on, and so this has been a lot quicker. So yeah, so static. So I think I'm just need to download something probably and throw it into static. So there'll be static/admin. Okay, the first file index. So where's the download? It's only from npm. Okay. Install Netlify CMS, save, then import it. Assuming the project has tooling for imports, yes, but where do I import it? Okay.
Monty's like freaking out right now.
Okay, let's see here. I don't know why I always do ls first. Let's have it. S. Okay. Add all the code snippets in this section to your admin config YAML file. Gatsby's in static. Okay. Let's add static files. You'll create 2 files. Okay. Alright, so folder admin. And then new file. Let's create an index.js inside my admin folder. Okay. Do we get to that later maybe? We had to add a separate one. Well, I guess you're so grid. Okay, so Gridsome same as Gatsby. It looks like. So that's cool. All right, so we're gonna do new file. Index.html. All right, so HTML.
Freaking out right
Wait. Content manager. Oh, how to see this? Content manager and unpackaged.com. So that's weird. All right, so unpackaged.com, that I'm pretty sure is a website where it basically takes NPM packages and unpackaged.com and then like sort of unpackages them so that you can reference stuff like in a script tag directly into something in an NPM package somewhere. Kind of like sort of like CDN.js, but for stuff that's inside of NPM packages. So I don't know. It's weird that I would do an NPM install of Netlify CMS, but then reference that. That's weird. Because I should already have that. Okay. So, fine. I'll trust you, documentation. I will trust you. Though I think you are leading me astray. Okay. So we got that one. Should there be any issue, JS deliver can be used as alternative source. Okay, simply set the source to. Yeah. All right. So second file, admin config YAML. Config.yaml is the heart of the Netlify CMS installation and a bit more complex. Okay. Oh, because I read too far down the documentation. That's why. Then import it. All right, so basically I can also use it as a regular NPM package. I'll just use if I didn't need to do that, I can just use unroll or unpackage. Then import it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, configuration is different on every site. So break it down into parts. Backend, we're using Netlify to host and for hosting and authentication of this tutorial. So the backend configuration is fairly straightforward. Yes, okay. All right, so backend, I like to top stuff out instead of copying and pasting. That way I can remember what I'm doing. Get gateway. Okay, so branch master. Branch to update. So that's definitely going to defaults to master branch. That's good. That's where I've got all my stuff. For Bitbucket repositories, I don't use Bitbucket. Editorial workflow. Editorial workflow works with GitHub repositories only. Okay, I have mine's in a GitHub repository, so that's good. Support for other Git hosts is coming soon by default. Saving a post in the CMS interface pushes a commit directly to the publication branch specified in the backend. All right, so that's good. That's kind of where my workflow right now. I just go in here and make changes to the markdown and content, and then just push it, and then Netlify rebuilds the whole site and deploys it all for free. So that's good. So publish mode, editorial workflow should not be indented. Yep. Publish mode. Oh yeah, same here. Typing everything. Yeah. Yeah, I've been coding long enough. I've been bit with copy paste bugs a lot. So now I just copy and paste by typing it out. Let's see here. Media and public folders. Allows you to upload images directly within the editor. For this to work, CMS needs to know where to save them, of course. So if you're ready to have images in your project, or if you already have an images folder in your project, okay. So I do source content image or img. This path, possibly creating an uploads subfolder, for example. Okay, so I'm making uploads. So that one's empty. So let me go down here. We'll make another. Should not be indented. All right, media folder. img uploads. Static files. You can refer to the path outlined above in app file structure. If you're creating a new folder for uploaded media, you'll need to know where your static site generator expects static files. Okay. I know it expects static files here. You can refer to the path outlined above in app file structure and put your media folder in the same location where you put the admin folder. Okay. If the media folder file path is relative to the project root, yeah. So the example above would work for Jekyll, Getbook, or any other generator that stores static files at the project root. However, it would not work for Hugo, others that store static files in a subfolder. Here's an example that would work for a Hugo site. Okay. So it's like, all right, you just need, if you already have an images folder in your project, which I do, you could use its path, possibly creating an upload subfolder like this. And then if you're creating a new folder for uploaded media, like it tells me to, you'll need to know where your static site generator expects static files. All right, so media folder is saying, all right, this is where your images are. But then, okay, so maybe this is just for Hugo stuff that you would need a media folder and public folder. I don't know. I'll just leave it there. We'll just leave it like this. We'll see if that works. It can give us a nice error if it doesn't work like that. All right. Adds a new setting, public folder, while media folder specifies where the uploaded files are saved in the repo. Public folder indicates where they are found in the published site. Image source uses this path, which is relative to the path where it's called. For this reason, we usually start with the path at the root site using / if public folder is not set. Netlify CMS default to the same value as media folder, adding an opening / if one is not included. Okay, so, all right. So this should be fine, because it's gonna upload. It's gonna try to upload it whenever I make a commit. Like when I type out a new blog post, I upload an image, and then save it. It's gonna try to throw the images in images / upload. Where's that? Content. IMG. It's going to throw it in IMG uploads. And then it's saying if I don't tell it where the public folder is, if it's different, then whenever I'm running my site and the content is trying to find an image relative to like the URL like ryanhayes.net, if I leave it like this, it's going to upload it to images, or it's going to upload it to IMG uploads. And then when it's running, if I upload an image like logo.png, then it's going to, when it spits out the website, it's going to try to look at it at ryanhayes.net/img/uploads/logo.png. So I think this should be fun. Collections. Collections define the structure for the different content types on your static site. Since every site is different, the collections settings differs greatly from one site to the next. Let's say your site has a blog. Mine does have a blog, with posts stored in _posts/blog and files saved in a date title format. Mine are saved in that format, actually. Each post begins with settings and YAML formatted front matter like so. Yes, it's very similar to mine, actually. So like, yeah, there we go. ID title. Collection setting will look like this in your Netlify CMS. Okay. So, since Netlify CMS is basically trying to be the administrative UI over top of your Markdown files, you can sort of see that there's an equivalent here of the Markdown files. This all came from WordPress, so I used a Jekyll exporter plugin in WordPress to export all of my content as Markdown files with all of the YAML data at the top, so that it would look like what Jekyll, which is another static site generator that's kind of sort of similar to Gatsby, but has been around for a really long time. So it wants its posts in this sort of format, where there's YAML at the top, where it's got a title and you specify your title and date and all that kind of thing, and each of your Markdown files has this YAML at the top. So these, when it got exported from WordPress, you'll see, let's see, personal branding. So here's like stuff that came out of the database that was in WordPress, trying to, like, my theme that I had at the time whenever I wrote this article, it had basically these, like all of these fields in the database about this particular post. And so Netlify CMS is just effectively wanting to know which of these fields matter, so that way whenever it does its thing, whatever it looks like, that it will know how to handle it. So collections. All right, let's go back to config YAML. All right. Name. Admin collections used in routes. Blog? I guess I'll just use that. We'll see what that looks like. Label. Using the UI. That probably doesn't matter, I'm thinking. Folder. To the path. Okay, the path to the folder where the documents are stored. So that is source content, I think. Yeah, source content. That's it. All right. Create. Allow users to create new documents in this collection. Yep. I do want to do that. Slug. Oh. File name template. I mean, I guess. It's so weird. Like, so for SEO, I've got like all this stuff from like 2010. I don't really know how to organize it because some of those are definitely for sure from 2010 and they just need to stay in 2010. I'm never going to update them probably. And some of them are sort of like living blog posts almost. So I go back and update them every once in a while. Like there's one to synchronize this one. Synchronize Node.js versions in Visual Studio. So I wrote it for Visual Studio 2015 and then I updated it for 2017. Then I updated for 2019. And then I'll probably keep updating it. But it's like 2015. So I don't know. I don't know if dates matter. Maybe there's a better way to organize it. Kind of want to do subfolders to just clean things up, but I don't know if I want the hassle of like trying to traverse folders anytime I need to query what posts. All right, month, date, and slug. Fields. All right, so layout title. Okay, so these are the actual fields that I need to match up with these guys here. Title, date, author, layout, GUID, well, GUID doesn't really matter. That just came over from WordPress. Permalink for sure. Tags, categories I don't use in this theme, but it might be useful to keep them. I don't know. This is the problem when you have when you have historical data, historical blog posts from like a decade ago. It's like, do you wanna keep things consistent in case you need them again? Do you want to just leave? Oh, hey, Lemmy. Thanks for joining. Moving a blog from WordPress to Gatsby. So we're trying to not break my Google juice from a decade and move it to something that's a little bit faster. And Gatsby is definitely faster. Definitely faster. So I need. Oh, man. All right. So let's get this. Okay. Are these all the same? Label, name, widget, default. Label, name, widget. Alright, I'm just going to copy this out and we will do this. How do I like Gatsby? I love Gatsby. I'm actually really into Ember, or not Ember, Vue.js, because I used to be a big fan of Ember, obviously because I'm wearing my old Ember shirt. Because Vue's just a little bit easier to kind of get ramped up on. I typically work with bigger teams and a lot of people that come in and out of teams with contractors and stuff. So Vue's nice because I can trust that even if somebody's not familiar with any of like the JavaScript frameworks, Vue's pretty easy to pick up, and React's a little bit tougher. But the React ecosystem, there's like so many plugins or components for like pretty much everything that you want to do, and React's not too bad, but it does take a little bit of getting into, and Gatsby's a good way to learn React actually, but it's nice. Yeah, I love it so far. Label. All right, so this is, I guess, a title. No, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Title, widget hidden. All right, here's what I want to do. I want to use those as examples. Oh, come on. All right. Well, Wait, are these already? So the good thing about the format of Gatsby, and when I did the Jekyll exporter to get the Jekyll markdown, this is like all of this is just what got spit out of Jekyll, the Jekyll exporter. But the cool thing is that Gatsby and I'm pretty sure Gridsome and of course Jekyll and Hugo and some of these other ones, they all use the same markdown YAML format. So the Jekyll exporter just worked for Gatsby. Like I didn't have to do anything. So if you're using Gridsome or something else, you can probably just export it and it'll work. Any thoughts on if that observation changes a bit with the introduction of React hooks? Yeah, so I haven't looked at React hooks a lot, but yeah, I mean, it seems like everybody's like super into them, and the good thing about React is where it's owned by Facebook and they've got like a huge investment in it. It's likely that all of these like React hook innovations won't necessarily negate any of the other ways of doing React. So it's nice if you work in the enterprise or if you work on apps that have a really long lifespan, to know that if you want to use React, like it's not gonna, if you use hooks, that's awesome. If you didn't use hooks and now React hooks are out, then like you can still use both of them. I think React hooks are pretty cool, but I haven't used them yet, so I don't know. I can't give an expert opinion on them yet. Have you used React hooks? I mostly just used Vue recently, and React in the context of Gatsby. Oh, I'm thinking tile. I've worked with GraphQL. Yeah. So my first introduction to GraphQL was actually in Gatsby to be able to do stuff, and I started looking, and you can actually like put where GraphQL is a spec, and when you call GraphQL inside of GraphQL on the server side, you can map like your own web services that you may have. So if you've got like a SOAP service and like some REST services and like a mix of a lot of different things, you can actually wrap all those services underneath GraphQL in the resolvers, and you can basically make a GraphQL API from your existing stuff. So like, it's pretty neat. Yeah, I did recently, and I'm just worried that that hooks making using state so easily make people more likely to scatter state all over the app, which might make architectures worse. Yeah, that's a big concern in JavaScript apps. Is state management for sure. Plus, of course, the fact that it turns referentially transparent functional components into stateful functions. Yeah. There's a lot of. I usually like wait a little bit and make sure that it shakes out okay with any new features in libraries. So my background is mostly enterprise work. So with enterprises, as opposed to a startup, which like you're like, okay, I'm just going to build something and hope it sticks, and if it does, it's awesome. And if it's not super consequential. But with the enterprises, usually if you build something, like you're building it with the intention that like we already have customers, and it needs to live for a very long time, and it can't just like sort of work or just go away. So I usually let it play out a little bit. It's definitely improvement in terms of syntax and compositionality if used correctly. Plus, it has a better performance already. Yeah. Yeah, functional components versus versus like class-based components. I never really thought about like how much performance overhead there was. And Evan Yu was talking about this in, I can't remember if it was like a View Mastery like video or something, or maybe it's at ViewConf or something. But yeah, he was talking about it, and there's like a significant difference in the overhead of classes versus class-based components versus functional components. It was pretty crazy. I hadn't really thought about it before. And I was like, oh yeah, more functional people, they just like functional stuff, and classes is just a different way of doing it. But there's actually some big performance implications. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Layout. Let's see what I got. Title for sure. I want an ID. I don't think it needs an ID. I think that may be from WordPress. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Date published. Okay, so that I definitely need. Author. I feel like I need author, but maybe it's just. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that just gets automatically set or what, but I'm gonna add it. MobX kind of fixed that issue. If you're using Redux, you pretty much had no good tools for that. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say good things about MobX. I've never used Redux. I've used Vuex. I don't know how you pronounce it. Vuex in Vue. And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I thought I would go into it because, if you've never used Redux before, and people who are like into Redux are like, yo, it gets a little hairy when you're trying to learn it. But Vuex wasn't too bad. It was pretty straightforward. And maybe MobX is kind of the way to go. I've had a few people who are into React, and I was talking with them, and they love MobX for tools like that. And you can combine both of them. Oh, like combine MobX and Redux. Because I thought both of those were like the same type of deal, like just like state management and mutators and all that. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. All right, so I'm a streaming newbie. I don't know how to deal with these automod things, so I'm gonna have to dial that back probably. I turned it on and it was like, it started blocking people like really bad for my first couple streams, and I dialed it back, but I think I need to dial it back more probably. Especially, I don't know, maybe it's just like coding stream, like live coding streams. You've got like all these different library names that are just strange words, and it's like, what are you trying to say? It's not for kids. All right, layout and quid. I don't need that's for sure WordPress. Permalink. I think I need permalink. I'm pretty sure I need permalink. Let's see, title. That's a string one. Permalink is the final end all be all URL that the markdown file basically generates a blog post at. So I definitely need that for sure. Image is this guy, the big one. A lot of people complain about Redux a lot, tend to not understand why it's useful in the first place. Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. Yeah, it's tough too, because like when you're marketing some sort of library or framework, you've got two sort of competing things going on. You want to make it super duper easy to get started and build something cool like from basically nothing, because that gets people super hyped about it and they're like, oh man, you should go try React. Like, look at this. I just type. It's like when Angular came out, right? It's like, oh, I just type in this box and this other label just magically changes, and then this text box up here changes at the same time, like while I'm typing, and then I can do that. And it's so crazy. Like everything's just hooked together, and so that's cool. But if you build everything like just like that, and that's all that you learn, then you're just gonna like get into really bad trouble. But then you've got the other side where you need to like really know how all the state management works and how to keep things straight and why mutators are important, and all of that. And that just takes time to learn. And if you throw all that at people up front, they're gonna be like, oh, React sucks, I'm not gonna use it. Or like Redux sucks, I'm not gonna use it. So it's tough. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The benefits and value of observables are immediately apparent. Yeah. Yeah. Especially for beginners. Like if you're just like, if you're not used to the magic of like the web and observables, it's super powerful and it demos well. Permalink. Alright, image. So I need, yeah, okay, featured image, there we go. Definitely need that. Layout, got it. Title, got it. Publish date, got it. Image, got it. Rating, I don't care about rating. Body, yeah, definitely need that. And tags. How do you do a drop down or something? Maybe it's just string. Because tags isn't a string. It's like an array, right? It's a collection of things. So this is tagged with web development, Node.js, and Visual Studio. So it's not really a string. Maybe I'm gonna use string. We'll see how it spits it out. Maybe I can have a string that looks like that. I don't know. I'll just do tag, and then I can come back in if I need multiple ones, maybe. Default software, no, web development. I do mostly web development, so we'll do that. Probably, that's probably a good one. Blog layout. I've been working as a software engineer for about a year now. I only have a BS in CS. Okay, cool. You think it's worth it to pursue a master's in CS? Oh, funny you should ask. I actually have a master's in CS, and I don't think so. Probably not. Well, it depends, right? So if you're financially stable enough to be able to do it, or if you can get a sponsorship from a company to pursue your master's. So there's it's a good way to get past what I call the HR filter. And if you're applying for a job, or if you're doing independent contract work, like I've done for a really long time. I don't do it anymore. I had a bunch of kids, and now I have like a regular W-2 job. But it's really good for getting past the HR filters. So when you apply for a job, a lot of time there's filters that, you know how you're on LinkedIn and you type in like JavaScript, and then they search for people who have Java, and then all the JavaScript people come back, so they just send you a LinkedIn mail and they're like, oh, I see you've got Java experience. Like, why don't you apply for this job? Like, that's an HR filter. Like, doesn't matter. They just look for people. So if there's a requirement for master's degree, it almost never actually requires a master's degree. But if you have one, you can get past that filter. And there's a lot of people that I met in grad school that have been helpful along the way that I made good relationships with. So that was really useful. If you're like doing government work, sometimes they're sort of old school and it can be helpful. But in general, I don't think that it's necessary. So unless you've got like money to burn to go do it, I would suggest not doing it and just spending the money, the extra money and time, like just investing in yourself, because it's a lot of time to do a master's degree too. And instead of doing a master's degree, I would just use that money to get yourself like a good computer, buy a domain name for yourself, and do like side work, even if it's just small, and start building out stuff, because that'll do more for your career in the long run. RxJS appears to be surprisingly underused in the React community. Yeah, I haven't seen that a lot. By the way, sorry if I distract too much from getting work done. Nah, it's cool. I like talking. Obviously. It depends a lot where you live, where you want to work. Yep. Yeah, no problem, Colin. Yeah, good luck on whatever you decide. Yeah, you can go to meetups. So I run a software developer meetup in my town, and if you got one local, you should definitely check it out and just go and meet other people, because that'll do more for your career too than probably going to grad school for most things. And if there's not one, you should just start one. Just find a bunch of people, get a Slack group together, and just start meeting up. Because there's a lot of really just, it's kind of like high school, like people who don't really study in high school and are generally just like don't care about classes, but they were like socially involved with a lot of people. Sometimes they do actually pretty decently well, and most of the times that's because of relationships that they had with people. It's not necessarily because they can do the stuff better than other people, because a lot of times maybe they can't, but there's a lot of situations where it's just it's really just marketing yourself and knowing how to speak to other people. So meetups are a really great way to meet people, and give talks at the meetup if you can, because then whenever somebody needs a developer, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember Colin Coins from the meetup, and we should go talk to him or her or whatever. I don't actually have an official degree. Never had too much trouble with that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, so cool. So I'm caught up. Yeah, we had a guy in our meetup actually, who did he did like factory work, I think, maybe, or something else, and he just like decided to come to the meetup one day and start like coming and teaching himself how to program, and literally it was less than a year, he got a full-time job as like a junior developer at one of the local companies. So now he just totally switched careers. Just was like, I think I want to be a software developer. Oh man, it's crackling. Is this better? Is it still crackling? If it is crackling, oh wait, let me see. Check. A little bit better. I bet it was. It might have been peaking. I don't know. Check. All right, we'll go with that. All right, so let's see here. What do I got left? Yeah, I ran my mic through this thing called Voice Meter Banana. It's like a Windows app that is sort of like a virtual mixer, so you can add compression and other stuff. But it's a little bit finicky. I'm still getting used to it. All right, so tags. All right, so I think I got everything here. And then, of course, the body of it. I'm gonna put that at the bottom since that feels like it should go with the bottom. All right, and then break it down. Slug fields default optional filter. Entries for any collection can be filtered based on the value of single field. Okay. The example collection below only shows post entries with the value of en in the language field. Okay. So that is collections, name, folder, create, slug. I don't know why I need to filter them. Oh, why is TLS 1.3 important? I remember I had to make sure our server was able to communicate with an endpoint that only supports TLS 102. I was so confused as to how to test it, but it was just a simple API call, making sure it responds successfully. Yeah, so TLS, it's basically it's a security protocol. So, I mean, it's like it's the not predecessor, the thing that came after SSL, right? And then so now it's at 1.3, and as security increases, they deprecate the old one. So there's like TLS 1.1 that's gone away, and so Node.js 12 just released, and so it has TLS 1.3 support. So yeah, it's just a way to keep your API calls and network communication secure. I did basically start coding when I was pretty young and taught myself pieces of CS early on. I didn't feel a waste years to get to the remaining bits, so just self-taught pieces I found important. Went through stuff like CalCP. Never bothered to actually do formal testing. Pretty rare random problems that crackling is back. Crackling is back! Oh man! Tag on it. Alright. Voice meter banana. Check. Okay, so I'm gonna check right here. Is this not crackling? But this is for show crackling. But this is not crackling. Is that right? I'm thinking that might be it. I think I may just be getting too close to the mic. What? This is wild. Okay, well, I promise to figure out my mic issues for next time. That's some homework for me. Okay, unrelated to Peak. Maybe it's related to Comcast. All right, so authentication. We're using Netlify platform. So I am using Netlify. And then, so enable identity and get gateway. All right, so I'm gonna go to netlify.com and log in. Alright, super secret. Maybe I'm gonna go the other screen to do my login. Everybody make sure you put on multi-factor authentication. Okay, so this is Netlify. This is like the back end for it. If you've never used Netlify, it is awesome. It's really good. You just point it at a GitHub repository, and you just tell it the command that you want to use to build your site. So like in my case, it's Gatsby build, right? And if I run Gatsby build, what it does is it takes all of my stuff and builds it, and then throws it in this public folder. So this is what my actual website that lays on the web server. This is what it looks like. So here's all my stuff in how to permanently fix some random error. So if I look at this, this is what each page is literally just a file like laying there. There's no server-side code that runs to serve it, or to like smash templates together. It's all pre-done, and that's how it gets super fast. So it's pretty awesome. But here you can see that the actual output. This is why they call it a static site, because it's all just static files just laying there on the server. All the hard work's done one time, and then it's fast. Slow once, fast forever. Building schema, yeah, so it does that every time I commit something. And so huge file generated in Gatsby that includes all the routes in your app. They can get a few megabytes if your site is large, and that is in the critical path. Oh shoot! A few megabytes is actually pretty big in the web world. I did not know that. Where what file is that? You know where it gets spit out at? Is it like nav? Let's see. Is it this one? There's the chunk map. App dash whatever. Open issue for a year now. Yeah. I love those. App dash. Yeah, these are pretty big. No lie, man. Whew. Real and Explorer. Let's check this out. So there's a map. So that's source maps. So that's not too super bad. Two files that both have all the paths. One is JSON. One a file generated by Webpack. Okay. Apparently only a problem on very large sites. Okay, so yeah, so there was somebody talking about that on Twitter today. Was like, or maybe it was yesterday. It's like you have an issue with sites with your site with a lot of posts, and I have like 150. So I don't know that it's that big. I mean, it's not like CNN or anything. I don't post that super often. It's mostly just bigger articles. Affects only first-time visitors. All those paths being just random hashes, it's not really Jesus-able either. Yeah. Problematic at 5K plus sites. Okay. Well, cool, because I'm not going to be 5K plus anytime soon, probably. Unless I figure out some AI to write me articles for me. That might work. Official Gatsby docs. Cool. I'll have to take a look at that. Because that's intriguing. Because it was pretty, it seems pretty fast, but yeah, that's like always my issues. Like there's something that slows it down. Let's see here. So when I go to identity, so Netlify, it's static site hosting, right? So like that's cool, super cool. But it's also got a lot of other sort of static site niceties with it. So you can do these things like forms. You can put a like a little Netlify attribute on your forms, and then it will take the contents of the form, and when you hit submit, it'll just magically show up in like almost like a Google Docs spreadsheet kind of deal on the back end. So you don't have to have any kind of like a server set up for it, and you can do AWS Lambda functions. You can write a Lambda function, ship it in with your repository, so when it builds it, it'll find them and light those up. So if you want to run server-side code, you can, and you don't even have to have like an AWS account, and it's like free for up to 100-something thousand requests or something like that. Some crazy nonsense. So identity. So I want to enable identity. All right. Here's my endpoint, I guess. Oh, where's my docs go? There we go. Okay. All right. Settings and identity. Enable identity service. Registration preferences. Register. Settings and usage. Registration preferences. Open. Select open or invite only. Only invited user to access your CMS. Yes, I only want me to access it. In most cases, yep. Just experimenting. You can leave. Never really did get into using any hosted services for stuff. Just prefer to host stuff myself on EC2 or something. Yeah. That's so that you get everything out of the box. Yeah, and it's free. That was the big thing, because I use Azure a lot, so same kind of deal. And AWS has even better static hosting, I think. But it's super cheap. Like static sites, just host them. It's near nothing. But for my blog, like I have a tendency to like get super excited about it and then do a lot of work on it, and then I'm not excited about it, and then I just let like the infrastructure rot, and then it's terrible. So I'm hoping that Netlify is like a little bit more stable, and I don't have to like manage my own CI/CD pipeline and all that kind of stuff, because that's my only thing that I'm worried about. Alright, invite only. These just make me want to go like play Mega Man or something. Big sandwich! You're just in time for the rest of the show. You are just in time. So let me recap kind of what for anybody who's late to the stream. So moving my site from WordPress to Gatsby, which is super awesome. Like Lighthouse score is off the charts. It is crazy good. So you can go check it out, ryanhayes.net, to see the running site, to see how fast it is, and you can go run Lighthouse score on it and check it out yourself. And right now, with Gatsby, if you're not awares, you can host the content in a lot of different places. You can even host it inside of WordPress if you like editing in WordPress. I've edited in WordPress for 10 years, and I would like to not edit in WordPress anymore. And so I ejected all of my data through the Jekyll exporter and got it into the format that Gatsby wants. So now I'm doing that. And so I edit my blog posts inside of my repository and just commit it up to GitHub, which is great for me. For me, it's great because I'm a developer, right? I know Git. But I wanted to try to set up this thing called Netlify CMS, which you can put into the repository in the static folder here, configure in here, and allegedly, we'll see if it works. It ships with your app and like with your static file or static site, and you can go in and edit your files in an editor. And when you save it, instead of it going to a database like WordPress would do, it actually will commit it to the GitHub repository. Like it'll actually do the commit for you behind the scenes. So you pull it up, you can see all your content. It's just doing a like a git pull or fetch or whatever, checking out all your stuff. You make a change, it commits it, does a push, and then it rebuilds your site. So it's like the best of both worlds, right? You got this thing that you don't have to. You just go in and I just want to write some stuff, and I just write. Or if I want to have full control over the markdown, anything else in it, I can just do it inside the GitHub repository. Oh, I didn't actually look. Are you using MDX or the normal YAML? Oh, Markdown, but not YAML. So that's a good question. So I think it's both. Both maybe? I don't know. So let's take a look. I'll show you. Let's see. So it's Markdown from here down. Right. So there's like all this stuff. All this is Markdown. And then at the top, there's this section which is YAML. Right. So it's like it's YAML down, maybe. Yeah, it's a welcome change for me. I haven't touched WordPress in 2 years now. I've been using Prismic.io as a headless CMS for several projects. Cool. Do you like Prismic? I'd heard about it a long time ago. I'd never used it. I think it's a pay-for one, but it's like basically like a CMS with an API on top, but not like it's not for like publishing to the web. It's like publishing to anything, right? Free for a single user. What? I want Remark plugin or MDX plugin for Gatsby. MDX is Markdown plus React components. Oh, that's cool. Haven't tried it yet because apparently it doesn't have any good editor support yet. They made me an official freelancer for them earlier this year, so I have to plug. Haha. Oh yeah, cool. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's really cool. It's always good when you can get in on like an official partner. If you're doing independent stuff, for sure. Yeah. So Prismic is basically like contentful, and I think contentful. I've never said contentful out loud, and it's harder to say out loud than I thought it would be for some reason. Contentful is pay for, right? It's like $20 or something to start out, but I've seen a lot of documentation talk about contentful, looking around at like Gatsby and stuff. Prismic is actually what I switched to when I wasn't happy with Netlify CMS, by the way. Oh, well, fantastic. That's what we're doing today. And yes, Louis, it's similar. It's way nicer, to be honest, but pricey. Yeah, pricey, for sure. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's so weird. Like you think about like Prince making contentful. It's like, oh yeah, it's just text and images. You just throw it in a database and give it back to you. Like it wouldn't be that hard, but there's a lot of to make content work really really well. There's actually quite a bit of stuff to consider. Not open source yet though. That's cool. Alright, let's go to get gateway. We'd like to allow one-click login services. Yes, I want one-click login services. I do want one-click login services. External providers. Oh, it was right there. GitHub. Visitors will use the Netlify identity as the app requesting authorization. So when you log into Netlify to actually like manage your site, you can log in with Google and GitHub and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to use GitHub, the one that I've already logged into this with. Enable Get Gateway. Okay. Netlify's Get Gateway connects your site to GitHub's API. This allows your users of tools like Netlify CMS to work with content branches and pull requests. Sweet. Yeah, yo. Alright. Hopefully that didn't flash and I just stalked myself. I don't know if I want to click edit settings. Alright, so in this case, we're leaving the roles field blank. Okay, not set, which means any logged in user may access the CMS. And I already told it to just do invited users. Add the Netlify identity widget with the backend set to handle authentication. Now you need a front-end interface to connect to it. I'm looking into building my own via Stappies. Whenever I find time. Strappy. Oh, Strappy. Well, I still don't know what that is. Strapi. String API? Is that what it's trying to be clever about? I did build it. What is this music? I went from Mega Man to Enrique Iglesias. I did build it in Scala. Not in Node, actually. Cool, I've never used Scala. Personally don't like Node for backend. Yeah. Actually don't either. I do a lot of TypeScript. Yeah, JVM does use a bunch of RAM. Yeah, I used to be a Java developer back in the day. Way back. Now it's mostly like C# and .NET stuff with my JavaScript. Alright, where does this widget go? This goes somewhere. We're trying to add the following script tag in 2 places. Okay. Add this to the head of your CMS index page at admin index HTML. Alright, so I guess we're done with Netlify itself. Alright, so let's do index.html. What did it say? Head? Head? Okay. And then script injection feature. Please. want to keep it in my site. I'm trying to keep my Gatsby site and all my content very movable, because I don't want to get in the situation again where like all my content is very WordPress specific with like HTML and crap inside there, and then that way when I inject it to somewhere else or move blogs from it to Ghost or wherever I want to go, I want it to be pure Markdown, so that way I can move all my content, don't have to worry about it looking good or bad or ugly. I just move it and it's done, and all the links are good and that kind of thing. Want the theme to do all of the heavy lifting, but the content to be the same. Yeah, no lockdown is best. Oh yeah, where was that? Okay. Yeah, what do you prefer for backend? ASP.NET, MVC Core, .NET Core, Web API, that kind of stuff is what I'm most familiar with. And I really like it. I love C#. C# is an awesome language, so I usually use it for the backend. For pretty much everything. I tried to get into Node like really bad back in the day, but I ended up just like, there's so many foot guns that you can have in JavaScript, and for the backend stuff, it's tough to keep straight. You can get around it by writing a lot of tests, and so if you're really consistent and you're disciplined about writing tests, and you can get your whole team to be disciplined about writing tests, Node can work, and it can be really good. But my issue has always been getting like a team of developers to make sure that the code stays consistent and clean and good over many years, and that's like a really tough problem to solve. So C# has been good in helping me sort of like herd the cats in general. So that's why I usually like it. But I've seen a lot of people do good stuff and bad stuff in every language that I've ever used, so your mileage may vary. I'm into it, but Golang, eventual go-to for backend stuff. Yeah, I had a friend who got into Go for backend, and he loves it. Tried to get in .NET C# a couple of times, but I felt like all the libraries I could find were nowhere near the code quality of Java Scala libraries I'd used for years. Yeah, there's definitely a really big mix of libraries. Generally, like the official libraries are really good in C#, and there's a few people that I trust in open source that I'll use their stuff. I will say that on the UI side, the quality is much lower as far as like user experience, libraries and templates and themes and stuff like that, as opposed to pretty much anything else, which is why I like Vue and React and those types of things, because generally the people who are building components for React and Vue are designer developers sort of, and are really good with the UI. They understand the web, they understand HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and how those all work together, and how to keep those consistent. And UI from a C# developer in general, it's not everybody for sure, but in general, it's mostly like back-end people, and they're like, oh well, I just need to do the UI, so let's just use Twitter Bootstrap and be done with it, kind of thing, which is fine for a lot of internal stuff. But if it bleeds over to customer facing, it's tough to find really good looking and good working UI components on that side, and for sure the quality is lower than other stuff. Plus dev tools, not as good. I don't know, man. Visual Studio for C# is on point. The new one. So 2017 is when it really got good, and 2019 is super awesome. And of course, .NET Core now you can use VS Code with C#, so you can kind of pick your editor and IDE experience. It was a little heavy back in like 2015 and before days, But still, it's pretty good. I like it better than Eclipse. JetBrains makes some really good IDEs though. Scala's had Scala.js for a pretty long time, which compiles all Scala JavaScript. It's one of the few 2JS compilers that actually production quality. Rather use Rider than I did use Rider last time I tried C#. Yeah, I saw it. I kind of opened a project in it one time, but I haven't used it like consistently for a week or anything. It was pretty interesting. I used ReSharper some. Yeah, they make good stuff. Have you looked at Blazor? So they're Microsoft's with .NET Core 3, I think it is. They're releasing Blazor. So it's basically C# Razor components that can run. It compiles to WebAssembly. Yeah, it's not production ready. It just came out of like, we're kind of experimenting with it. We'll see if this is a terrible idea at some point. And now they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna ship it. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. I personally, for at least right now, I would rather use like something like Vue or React for the UI. I think compilers to WebAssembly and 2JS compilers make a lot of sense for apps that have a lot of like business logic or like games and stuff that can compile a lot of code down to WebAssembly, where it runs basically like browser bytecode. It's super fast. I think that's really cool. The user logs in admin path. To do this, add the following script before the closing body tag of your site's main index page. Closing body. Wait, of my site? Wait. When a user logs in with a Netlify access inference site, in order to complete the login and get back to the CMS, of your site's main index page, if Netlify identity on a net, if user. Okay, yep, alright, so this needs to go like in my actual website, so that way whenever they authenticate and they come back to my site, they'll be coming back to ryanhayes.net, but they actually need to be going push to admin, maybe? Is that it? So doesn't work in IE11. That's cool. C# didn't really go into the interop story. Even auto generates bindings from TypeScript definitions. Didn't really go all into the interop, like with like C# with .NET Core, or can you give me an example? I use mostly Windows. I used to be a Mac user up until my Mac died. Oh yeah. Talking about Blazor. Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Blazor goes. There's some people who are like super jazzed about it. But I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm not for sure. Alright, so this needs to go in. Was it index.tsx layout? Make sure that this is the right one. helmet. Yes. Okay. There we go. All right. So before the closing body tag. Yep. Ooh, where's it at? Index layout. Side description. Here's where it posts all the cards. Index layout. You know what I haven't tried? I haven't tried to see if the React tools work in here. And huh, that's cool. So it doesn't like fully staticify it, maybe. Maybe React's still live. That's cool. Huh. Very interesting. Okay. So it's basically right here. I'm not familiar with if you can just dump stuff in here. By using style components, yes. The reason some components have full names there is because they were explicitly set as strings. Yeah. So I'm basing my my theme or whatever. If you've ever used Ghost before, you know that this looks like the Casper theme. So they redid it, the original one. So this is Casper 2.0, and there's an open source implementation of it for Gatsby that I modified a little bit. Made a few changes, mostly for accessibility. So like web development, like the tag and the read time was a little bit too light. So I had I changed it to be a little bit darker for contrast. But yeah, it uses style components, which was really strange to me when I first saw it. So it was like, if you want to add some like styles to a component or pretty much anything, you put there's like this CSS thing that you put all the styles in it, right? So site title image styles, and so site title image styles. Then when I make an image tag here, I pump it into the CSS attribute, and then it gets styled. So I guess that's good for, I don't know, typing, keeping it separate. It must do some magic somewhere that I don't really fully understand yet. Stock components are great. One of those things I can't live without now. So it sounds like it's really super cool. Fully compositional and just works. And minimal boilerplate. Yeah, so with style components, is it like, can you do like site title image styles plus whatever other image styles, or like does it just like smash together a bunch of styles, or you can inherit things and just magically works it out? I've used Sass a lot to do my styles, but I've never actually done these kinds of things. Oh, you can just put a variable in the block to extend it. That's cool. Fancy. So this is using emotion. Is that what you use, or is this like the one to use, or are there other ones? Wait a second. I know what I can do. Stock components. Oh, motion is something else actually. Yeah, motion went its own direction last year. Well, fantastic. I think they have an API compatibility layer. Okay, so is style components then, is it something like that's native in React, or like native as in like there's an official like React like library, and then emotion is sort of like some other one? Okay. We're the one a new person. Yeah. That's how it works usually. All right, so maybe y'all can help me out with this. So I'm trying to pump the script tag in like right before my closing body tag, and it should be like right here, but with React you can't just like dump HTML in, right? Because it's not really HTML. I can't just like dump this script tag in. Do I need to like pull this out into another component that is for it, or is there something maybe that I need to do differently? And I guess I could technically put it in the head. Maybe that'll work. Maybe it won't complain. Oh wait, what? Oh, that will complain. Well, maybe not. Okay, so that works. Maybe I just needed. Okay. Maybe that works. Nope, don't work. Oh, must have one parent element. That's right. Yeah. So it could go in here, but it couldn't go. You just need to make a custom HTML.js. Look up custom HTML in the Gatsby docs. All right. HTML Gatsby. Do this. Customizing HTML.js. Most sites should use the default HTML.js shipped to Gatsby. But if you need to customize your site's HTML.js, copy the default one into your source tree by running copy cache, copy and paste random code and run it. That does that. We will see. All right. Run all that. Okay. Where did it say it goes? Source HTML.js. Oh, it updated. All right, let's see. Where? Oh shoot, where'd it go? There we go. Untrack. Oh, use untrack. Okay. All right, so that's good. You need to escape that script data there. If you put it in the page template and not hit run on each route transition. Oh yeah, because when the router hits, it spins up the next the component that it's routing to. So on head, you can use helmet. The Gatsby helmet plugin. Okay, I definitely do have the helmet plugin. Or maybe it's just called React Helmet. Yeah. Gatsby plugin React Helmet. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. I do have that. I'm wondering if this might be, maybe this is enough? Maybe. And then make the modifications that you need here. So maybe take that, put this in closing body. Same deal. That's there. That's that. Okay. Oh. Yep. Okay. That's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. And that looks fine. Your site. Oh, my site is now fully configured and ready to log in. Okay. So. Oh. What's that? Okay. Yeah, the new Netlify dev stuff is pretty cool. Basically runs like the whole Netlify platform locally on your machine, which is really, really good for testing out all my redirects. I had so many redirects to fix. I got all these. And I got a bunch more I gotta fix too. Like a lot. What? Yeah, it's terrible. Windows not defined. I bet that was the thing that I just added, right? Probably. Yeah, window. Of course, Windows not defined. What would it be? Throw it in your footer with a dangerously set inner HTML wrap. That sounds good. That's what we want to do. Actually, I'm okay with that. That's a good thing about static sites, right? Like, because you're less likely to get hacked. Oh, it's in the docs. Oh, awesome. I think you want to look at this. Service off. We'll take a look. We'll take a look. All right. I mean, the static dynamic, Gatsby, Netlify functions, Netlify identity. Add Netlify functions to Gatsby. You can also use Netlify redirects for that, blah, blah. Netlify identity. Yeah. Okay, so all right, so let's do dangerously set inner HTML, because that's like the benefit of the static sites, because it's not like really like it's generating my site and it's just throwing throwing the stuff up on the server. And every time I make a change, it's just doing that too. So it's not like it's super dangerous. All right, dangerously set inner HTML. I too like to live dangerously. All right. Div dangerously set inner HTML. Okay. So, all right. So inside of a component, like, maybe I don't need HTML.js anymore, right? Maybe not. Oh wait, no. This is. Okay, so this is React too. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So HTML.js is like, so you got your layout page, right? And then HTML.js, I guess, is the layout's layout page. So this is like the super raw, everything else. So we can really get to the body tag here, but it's still inside of React. So we can't just throw a script in there, but we can do here, we'll do div dangerously set inner HTML. And then, all right. Oh wait, okay. Bottom of the page, custom HTML. They kind of deprecated layouts. So the HTML JS thing is pretty much a wrapper around the router. Okay. Cool, that makes sense. I didn't know about that. That's cool. Bottom of the page, custom HTML, which you need to use if you want to persist React knows anything between between route transitions. Right, yeah, because when it routes, it would like throw it away and create a new page, right? Oh, y'all may not be able to see that. Okay, so adding custom JavaScript. All right, cool. So you add the tag, then you dangerously set the inner HTML to underscore HTML, and then it's just the backticked template literal stuff. Okay, so let's do this. We'll get us our little template going, and then we'll go back to where was it? There's an object with template literal strings. Cool. Well, I'm glad that's an official thing. I was hoping there'd be some way that I could just like throw stuff on. That was one of the big like gotchas that I ran into whenever I started learning React. I was like, why can't I just paste stuff in here? It's not working. Like, oh, it looks like HTML, but it ain't HTML. All right, so where was this at? Yeah, here. So this script that I need to paste in here is dangerous because you don't want to just randomly run. You don't want to just run JavaScript willy-nilly. So you can still do it. You just got to be aware that you're living dangerously. Oh, psh. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So they're doing it. They're doing it themselves. Gatsby is doing dangerously set inner HTML. So say I learned it's fine. Let's do it. Inline scripts are kind of discouraged for CSP cross-site protection. CSP, maybe. Content security policy. Yeah. Yep. All right. So I think this is looking pretty good. All right. All right. Let's see. Got speed. Develop. Blech. No. There we go. We use that basically anytime you set content via headless CMS to SSOP in the React world. Alright. So yeah, I mean the build's not taking too long. But that's a good thing about a static site. It's like you front load all the slowness of smashing data up with templates and serving stuff. And then everything's static, so it's faster. You take the hit early. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so that works. Let's go to admin. That's not working. Admin. So admin's here. Why is it not? And yeah, it makes me cringe a little every time. Yeah. Actually, there are other methods that generate the actual React tree directly rather than in HTML. By parsing the HTML. This allows you to replace certain HTML elements in the tree by custom components, which is super useful. Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning all kinds of stuff about React today. So admin index.html. What in the world? This is supposed to be there. And I see it over there. I can't. Okay, so it's saying it can't find it. But I know you're there. I know you're there because I see you there. Create a React.js component in your site directory. At source pages, admin index.html.js, and this page will automatically refresh to show the new page. But I don't want it in pages. I want it in static. Try Gatsby serve. Okay. Just use for use. Try Gatsby serve 49000. Which actually serve a production build rather than dev. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Why do I do LS every time? I don't know why. It's just a weird habit. Must be served running at localhost 9000. Oh. There we go. Just confused about the structure you had there on the left, so not sure how useful that is. Thought it was a public folder. Yeah, so this is the public folder, and then if I scroll down here, I see admin. So there's an admin folder. So there should be like my site /admin, and then there's index.html, which index.html is like the default document, right? So it should just appear admin, but it, for whatever reason, did not. But we'll see. It might be the production thing. Okay, so that's it built. 65 seconds, that's not too bad. Alright, Gatsby's running out. That's quick. Alright. Big butts, no whammies. Hey! That was it! Let me do the rescue. Do it. Alright, URL of your Netlify site. Looks like you're running a local server. Let's let us know, okay? Well, there we go. Oh, on the URL. Secret time. Oh, well, that's pretty uneventful. All right. All right, so it gave me an access denied error. Oh, well, that's fancy. Sign up's not allowed for this instance. Oh, I don't think I did invite myself, actually. Let's see here. Where'd Netlify go? Actually, just give me just a second. I'm gonna go do a bio break. Okay. All right. So let's see. Where do I invite myself? Let's see. Invite only users. Okay, so it's limited to people I invite from the identity tab. Invite users. Oh, yeah, there you go. Each. Yeah. Send reset. All right, I'm gonna go check to see. Check out my email. See if there's any sort of like sign up email that it sent me. I don't think that there is. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, maybe that's all I need. Is that it? Oh yeah. That's the wrong one. What am I doing? Log in with Netlify identity. Continue with GitHub. Oh great, thank you for throwing my access token up there. Fantastic. So that didn't work. Well. Let's see here. Yeah. That is. Let me go cycle my tokens. Beautiful. Alright, got that one revoked. Ooh. Alright, so what am I doing wrong here? What does Netlify use for auth? Is it OAuth plus JWT? I'm pretty sure it. Yeah, OpenID Connect. Yeah, OAuth to whatever. Where it's the code flow or stuff. Yeah. So. All right, so invite only. Yes, 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 yes. Local host. 9,000 admin. Content manager. So I do login with Netlify identity. Continue with GitHub, right? I want to authorize. Oh, it's just my email address. Okay, so that's nice. But then it just throws. Heck, what? Yeah, so that should be returning instead to. Let me revoke that again. So I think that should be returning. To /admin, because it's got all the like the tokens and stuff that it needs. So I'm thinking that needs to actually be not that edge. I don't want that edge. Let's see here. Yeah, it started. Editorial workflow, get gateway. Accept roles, optional. Yep, we don't do roles. Backend name. To enable basic get authentication. What is basic? Repository stored on GitHub. Yep, the GitHub backend allows CMS users to log in directly with their GitHub account. Okay, note that all users must have push access to your content repository for this to work. Okay, so I do have, because it's my repository, so GitHub. Script is supposed to pick up the. Okay, so let me says the script is supposed to pick up the access token from the URL and then hide it by using URL push API. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at the script again. What was that? HTML, JS? If window.netlify identity, so if this is hanging off of window, then on a knit, if user isn't defined, then on login to the href to admin, location href to admin, so it just forwards you on to admin. Did you include Netlify identity scripts? That one. I did add this one. Identity.netlify.com v1 Netlify identity widget. If that's, but I don't think I added anything on. I did the dangerously set inner HTML script. So this one is there. But so is this kind of what you're saying? Can you check if it works in the generated HTML? Oh, yeah. Let's check the. Wait, where's that? All right, so it does spit out this. That's at least there. Well. Right, yeah. I do have Gatsby plugin Netlify CMS installed. The one. So we did add at the very start. Yeah. So let me go find that one. So big sandwich. Let me show you the package.json. So I do have Netlify CMS. I bet that one. I don't have Gatsby plugin Netlify CMS. Gotcha. Okay. I was going by the Netlify CMS docs, but not the Gatsby plugin one. Of course there's a Gatsby plugin. That's why I picked Gatsby, is because there's plugins and you don't have to do the hard work yourself. And sit here wondering why your scripts don't work. All right, yeah. All right, cool. Okay, so npm install, save Netlify CMS, which we already have. We also need Gatsby plugin Netlify CMS. So I'm just gonna copy this all out and install these. Has an option, enable identity widget. Okay, so you can just like turn it on. That's cool. Hopefully I won't have two widgets now and it'll just break because I have everything in there. So this is cool. So Netlify Gatsby CMS. Make sure it's at 3. All right. So I need to add Gatsby plugin Netlify CMS. Options. Place the Netlify CMS customization code in the source CMS. Have conditional configuration for dev and prod environments. Nice. Oh yeah, you were late to the party, Big Sandwich, so you didn't see us installing this at the start. Yeah, I installed the CMS, but I was just going through the regular Netlify CMS documentation. I didn't even think about looking for a Gatsby plugin to do it all for me. I should have done that. All right, so let's see here. now we've got, yeah, so that should have installed Gatsby plugin, Netlify CMS, 3018. Okay, so we're good there. Gatsby config. So let's add in our So does anybody know any performance implications of not using template literals? This when I started this site, it was all just regular ticks. It wasn't the backticks, and I'm just using this to keep it consistent. I haven't looked in to see what the difference is, other than, like, just the regular, like you can add variables in with template literals. Just wondering if there's any other implications for using it if you know you're never going to be using it. Gets Babel compiled anyways. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Close all that. Come on. Is it done? No, it's not done. It's just been super slow. Automod did me again. Daggone it, Automod. Yeah, I think it matters. Just select six. Change dynamic content. Yeah. Yeah, internally, I think browsers do a lot of sort of transpiling of syntactic sugar stuff, and some of the new features of JavaScript. Anyway, 142 seconds. It's like twice as long as before. All right, Gatsby serve. Oh man, I just noticed. Lumi, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't know why my little stuff's not working. Super noob. And oh yeah, Kenny Ruthless. I think they're gone now. All right, so Gatsby serve. All right, so now we're going to admin. the GitHub backend needs a repo in the back. Oh. Yeah, Lemmy, that's my understanding too. All right. So here's what I got. When I went to that, it says there's been an error, but I think I know exactly what that is. Config. All right, so that is. Shoot. Where was that page at? Okay, that's not actually what I need. What was it? Git editorial workflow, publish mode. Is that what it is? No, backend. Hold on. Yeah, I did add it to the Gatsby config. Gatsby config. So I did add Gatsby plugin Netlify CMS. So I didn't do any of the fancy options here though. Is the difference? Where's that? I got too many browsers open now, man. Oof. Why does it keep going away? Yeah, so I added it to my plugins. Log in with Netlify. Alright, so that's good. Alright, okay. Alright. Give it access to all my stuffs. And access token. Alright, this is not the whole thing. So I'll cycle them in a minute. So Yeah, that's what I didn't take a look at that. We'll look at the console, see what's going on. There's nothing in the console. Is there anything, I'm wondering, the identity, like, that, well, no, because the identity is like, alright, you're logged in, here you go, back to your site, good sir, sends me back, and it thinks it's fine. It's like there's something, it's like it's not catching the pass back. So it's like an install guide. Probably need some options. Yeah, it probably does. Let's check it. Netlify can be configured. The options below. Registering custom widgets or styling the preview pane. We don't need to style the preview pane. Is that manually? Delete that HTML. Yeah, that's a good idea. So it is still in there. Yeah, let's just remove this one. So now we're kind of back to square one. But now we've got the plugin installed, right? Automatically applied to the editor. Alright, so it says, and this is, the JS module might look like this. So this JS module, I think, is referring to something that you can use to customize the Netlify CMS, which I don't think we want to do. The identity option, enable identity widget. Yeah. Let's make sure that one. Let me put it down here. Where all these resolves are. I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so enable identity widget. Okay. Oh, it defaults to true. Yeah, it's true by default. Yeah, okay. Public path, optional, is admin. That's, yeah, so that's what we want because it's admin. Titles, content manager. That's fine. Enable identity widgets true. Public path is default to admin. Module path default is undefined. That's okay because we don't want to update really Netlify CMS at all. We just want it to stock. Hopefully the remove script box fixes it. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see if that does. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at oh, there's a CMS.js in admin now. That's different. I did not see that before. Take a look at the generate HTML, make sure it includes all the Gatsby parts. So yeah, so admin does have CMS, which, yeah, I didn't see that before. There's a, is it like index? What's the main one? Goodness gracious, that's slow. Yeah, it does. Well, my CPU is pegged right now too. It might be all the stream stuff going on too. Yeah, I'm really hoping. So like Microsoft has VS Code, and now they're kind of heavily invested in Chromium. Um, and since it's sort of the guts for a lot of like web app, um, like Electron apps, I'm hoping that they can do some performance improvements that will help VS Code with a bunch of files. I'm hoping. Yeah. I will just blame Windows and small files. That's valid. Not VS Code's Windows. Yeah. I love Windows 10, but there's definitely room for improvement on the file system. Same build on my Mac for PC is hilarious. And Gatsby Next.js sites. Linux subsystem for Linux is like a huge. Pretend that we now have a Windows that's a Unix. Yeah, it's mostly like the good thing is like now you can run like all these like random Unix scripts that you find on the internet. You're like, oh, I can run these, just copy and paste it into my console and hit enter and do whatever. Like those all work now, but yeah, it's not. It is not. It's not a Unix system. It's very much like a compat layer that's still just really Windows underneath. It's not that it basically compats on kernel level. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like if you know the command line really well, and you've got that history, right? Like you don't have to worry about like, oh crap, now I'm on the other one. How do I like pipe stuff? How do I copy this to there and find things? You can just use the same syntax and stuff that you already know. Now they got PowerShell on PowerShell runs on Linux now, which is crazy. It's just wild that they're doing that much investment. And what happened here? This is just hung. What the crap? Bootstrap finish, it says. That's still operational. Alright, I'm just gonna close VS Code. I'm on little Ninja Cat. Let him. It's more the fact that programs compiled on Linux now run on Windows without recompiling, basically, at least partially. Yeah, I remember I used to be like super into Linux, especially like in college, and having to using Wine and stuff to get some of the Linux things to work on Windows. I think it was just such a big hassle. All right. Actually run Hackintosh OS X. OS 10, yeah, sorry. Basically need all those OS 10 only tools. Sort of a good enough Unix experience. Should be able to access the CMS on a dev build. Yeah, I was thinking that. I think before, like I did the Gatsby develop, and it didn't even show up. Maybe it's Slack. Maybe that's doing it. Die Slack. I don't know. Villain schema. Huh. Maybe it was Slack. 25 seconds. For the JavaScript CSS bundles. 103 seconds. Okay. Better than 140, I guess. Yeah, I remember like a bunch of my command line tools that whenever I tried them on even just Mac, they just ran so much faster. I wish the MacBook Pros had better keyboards. That's the only thing that I think prevented me from going that route the last time I was looking at a new machine. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I see what's going on, I think. Let's try this. All right. So I'm at localhost 9000 /admin. Continue with GitHub. Boom. I'm at ryanhayes.net. I haven't even pushed the Netlify CMS code up to production yet, so there's no way that this is going to work. So maybe I should just push it and see if it works. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe just do it. Just do it. There's no I mean, it doesn't say here like I want this to work at ryanhayes.net. So you like the keyboard? I saw some people where like they got like a sandwich, like a big sandwich crumb like underneath one of the keys, and it just like wouldn't work. My hands literally hurt after using it. Yeah, I think that's my problem. Is like I type hard, so I've got this big mechanical keyboard with lots of travel, so it doesn't hurt my fingers. But I remember when I had, like a long time ago, I got one of like the Microsoft Surfaces that they don't even make anymore, like with the little pad or whatever, and it was almost like a touch pad, and that thing, man, that thing gave me arthritis. It was terrible. Yeah. I had a 2009 MacBook Pro, and it was awesome. The 2013 ones, that like time frame, those are really good. Alright, we changed a lot of stuff. Let's just check it out. We'll probably What do you mean no source control providers registered? What happened to you, VS Code? You're being terrible. Alright, so all that. Yep, get send that up, and we'll see if this will publish it for real. All right. What? Streamlabs. What the crap? Also, Mac Pro update taking. Anybody know a Streamlabs thing to like tone down the Lang bot? Huh. Oh, well, I guess that works. Let's see here. Maybe that'll fix it. All right, let's see. Netlify, where is the URL? Let's go to deploys. All right, so it's building. Basically saying the whole MacBook Pro not getting updated story is something I just don't understand. And there's stuff with NVIDIA drivers getting blocked recently. Oh, did I become a mod now? I guess so. I was trying to figure out how to like unblock you from whatever Streamlabs did, and I'm using Chatty, which is like the IRC client for it, and then so yeah, so I hit the button that evidently made you a mod, and now I hit it again and it won't unmod you. I can't find anything, so you're a mod now. So with great power comes great responsibility. Use it wisely, I guess. Let's see. Is that it? Yeah, really. Yep, you're Twitch janitors now. Let's see. Come on. Site is live. Okay, that's good. All right, so admin. Here we go. All right, so let's go continue with GitHub. Log in with Netlify. Please ask your site. Yes, because I recycled everything. Okay. All right. So that is that, and then reissue the gateway token. Okay, so that is in the identity gateway. Alright, let's see here. Make sure that. Okay. So I reissued that. Hey, there we go. It works. All right. Wow, that's really old. Okay. All right, so let's see here. All right. I mean, the UI is terrible. I don't think that I would want to write here. Ooh. Cool. Awesome. Thanks everybody for like helping me get this going. All right, so we got the title. So here's all the stuff. Tag. Okay, so man, 12 o'clock. I think we've probably got a plan for like figuring out tags and stuff next time. And then what's the image? Oh, broken link. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think that I would. I don't know that I would edit in here. So Big Sandwich, you were talking about like you didn't like this and you liked was it Prismic better? I kind of see why at first glance now. Oh my gosh, look at all these errors. I didn't even see that. Fantastic. Next text hits. Release the guide, install virtualized Hackintosh. That virtualized compares to a native experience. We'll try it out at some point. Definitely would like to make it easier to migrate. Definitely would make it easier to migrate to new hardware if I ever need to. Yep, super curious to try. Any nice and new backups before upgrade snapshots. Not for me, just for the though. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Not for a client. And honestly, so delete publish entry and save. So let me try a quick thing. All right, I'm gonna add. Okay, so that's 2 spaces. I need to remove that. So after the first sentence, I'm gonna remove a space. I'm gonna hit save. Okay, so you can at least go to Markdown. That's good. That's what I would rather. Maybe for a quick upload new. Let's save. Oh. So is everything required then, maybe? Let's see. What's a good tag for teams? Leadership? Maybe? Squirrel. Okay. Upload new. That didn't really do much. Okay, there you go. Choose selected. Save. GitHub. Let's go to runhaze.net. Okay. Images, IMG. I don't see the uploads folder. I see WP content uploads. That's from WordPress. So it's different. So maybe that piece isn't working. So content, and they'll say workflow, drafts in. Okay. Editorial workflow, interview. Okay. Ready? Publish changes. Show and publish this entry. Yes. So it's got the workflow hooked up to it. There's no other branches, so I don't know where that's going. Huh. Yep, this is super basic. So I think it was good to hook this up. I totally agree. So like first glance at this, definitely would not use this for a client. Yeah, would not do that. For myself, I kind of feel like this editor. Wow, here's my thoughts on Internet Explorer in 2013. Wow. Only a Fluent API in TypeScript. Okay, so yeah, so I mean it's super basic. I don't feel like this gives me much more. Like as a developer who's comfortable with Markdown, I think I would probably just write in Markdown in my repository. But it was a fun exercise, I guess. Cool. So I'm gonna probably keep working on this on the Gatsby site for the next couple streams. So I really want to like hammer down on all of my SEO issues. So I've got some broken links and some different things. So I'll be going through a few like SEO tools to try and find all the issues that I've got and fix those up. So I'll be doing that some. And I'm not sure what all else. I'll probably pull out Vue at some point. And I know another guy who comes and hangs out on the stream is using Gridsome, which is like a Vue.js version. So I might like spin it up and see what the two look like, see how fast it is to pull over my content to it, and see what it would look like. So yeah, Lumi, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us, and Big Sandwich. Good to have you guys. And yeah, so I will see you all probably next live view if you can react. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. So I don't know. There's just something about it. I think it's mostly just like new people can get into it a little bit easier. But after I've got over the hurdle of React, it's not that bad. But I don't know if it's not that bad because it's not that bad, or if it's not that bad because, like, you know how you like do something really hard, and then like because it was really hard, you feel like now you're invested in it more. So like you like it more because you got over the hard stuff. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. Cool. Yeah. All right. Thanks, y'all. I'll see y'all back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Thanks for the follows and appreciate it. Thanks. See y'all next time. Oh, should we raid somebody? Let's see if anybody's going. Let's see if there's anybody streaming right now. I've never done a raid before. We'll see. Please don't blast audio. David West. Oh, David West. I wonder if he's still doing it. So Dave West is one of my friends. He's another Microsoft MVP in the web dev stuff, but he's actually building a text, or not a text game, like a 2D game live on stream. Gotta watch the ads. Ugh, terrible. Come on, ads. Roll out. All right. Cool. So let's see here. Let's do raid. Midwest. All right, cool. Well, I'll talk to you all next time. Thanks. See you all.